Hello, my friends. Green Energy here, and we are back for episode 3 of our Dark Souls Remastered. Alright, where we left off, we had come back to our first bonfire outside of Firelink Shrine. I have not rested at that bonfire because I want to make sure that all of these enemies stay unspawned. It's not a big deal, but this crossbow and maybe 2 of those swordsmen will actually come up these stairs anytime we come out of this area if we rest at the bonfire. So it's just a couple enemies we don't have to deal with. I don't gain any Estus by resting at it since I haven't kindled that bonfire yet, so I only get 5 from it. Just to show you, we can't go up these stairs because they are once again broken. Later on, we'll be able to lower that ladder in order to go to another area in the game. It's another one of those shortcuts that I mentioned in a previous episode. So we're actually going to make our way to boss number 2. In order to do so, we got more fire bombs that are going to be raining men on top of us, so be very wary of that. Got some of these guys coming at us in groups. They're not super tough to take down. Here's another one of those doors that's not going to be able to open until we get to the other side of the door, which will be not too far in the future. We're going to turn right first, and we're going to go inside this building here. Now I want to take just a second to talk about mimics in this game. A mimic is essentially an enemy type. It's a bad guy that hides as a chest. We don't have them for a little bit in this game yet, but I just want to know, you can't see it very well because this piece of wood is blocking it. But if the chain on the chest is facing away from us, it is a chest. If that chain is facing towards us, it's a mimic. And if we try to open a mimic, they're actually going to attack and possibly kill us. And so that's where you would want to hit the mimic as opposed to opening the chest. If you ever want to check and you don't remember the chain trick, you could always just hit a chest, and if it doesn't come alive and try to kill you, that means it's a chest. Got the black firebomb, which I think does bonus damage as compared to just a regular firebomb. We're going to take on this guy that's hiding in this corner. And that's it for this area. So those firebomb guys are actually directly above us. We'll be able to go back and take care of them in just a moment. Looks like this third guy's going to throw firebombs at me too. See, as long as you're patient and you realize the time that you should attack and when you should defend yourself, you shouldn't have a problem taking out some of these guys. That residence key that we bought in the last episode from that merchant, this is one of the doors that would open. And all that's in here is a chest up here that you can't reach otherwise. Once again, I'll show you that chain facing away from us. Means it's a normal chest. Gold pine resin is a consumable when I put that in the same tab that we have our Estus flask down there. If I utilize that, I can apply lightning damage, a lightning buff to my sword. It's not useful against normal enemies. It's more useful against a boss that might have a weakness to lightning. Being honest, me not being a master and all, once again, I don't use those items as much as I probably should. So, if you want to harass me a little bit in the comments for not using them, feel free. I'm not a smart lad when it comes to that stuff. Plus, it makes your fights against the bosses easier, which means if you look at it in a positive sense for why I'm not doing it, it makes the game more difficult for me. So, that makes me feel better saying it that way. We took out the fire bombs. We took out the spear guy that actually noticed us when we opened that chest over there. We're going to come up this spiral staircase because there's actually a man with a crossbow that we want to take care of, just so that he's not going to snipe us. We got 2 more of these guys. The ones with spears are the ones that are a pain. The ones with swords will attack you more often than the spears would. Down here, we have a knight. This knight is going to be super tough. Depending on how well I do with a fight right here, may determine whether or not we actually kill him or not. But over here is just a drop off. Kind of a pointless area, because if I drop down there, I will not survive. And I don't want to have my first death in this game yet. I don't think we are gonna finish taking on this guy, but we're gonna defend ourselves while we come over and we grab that ring right there, which we will take a look at its properties when we can get away from the Black Knight. Now I'm gonna try to run pretty far away from this area in hopes that he will stop coming after me. We're gonna see. Oh, he's still coming. We only have one more enemy before the next boss. Well, I guess 3 more enemies before the next boss. We have 1 more before the boss arena. And that knight is pursuing me. Alright, maybe we need to take him on. It might be possible if I don't get too greedy like I just did. Another thing we could do is we could bait him if he keeps coming. Now he stops. I'm pretty sure he's going to retreat really slow. Yeah, he's going to retreat a little slow. I guess I could take this time to talk about what happens if I die. When I die, I don't lose any of my gear. I don't lose a lot of my progress. What I do is I respawn at the last bonfire that I rested at. So if I would have died right there, I actually probably would have respawned all the way at Firelink because I haven't rested at this bonfire yet. With that, if you look at my bottom right where I have my 1500 souls, if I die, I lose those souls, but they sit in about the same area that I just died in, and it's kind of when you'll see it when we die for our first death in this game. It'll be kind of a green, glowing fire pit essentially, and that's where our souls are resting. As long as I can get to those souls before I die again, I can pick all of those souls back up. What is that guy doing? Alright, he's not giving up on me. Ooh, I got a backstab. Do you see how much damage we actually do to him right now? It's not very much, which is why I wasn't really certain about fighting him. But he's persistent, so maybe we will try to battle his persistency with true grit. You can do as many of these backstabs as you want, but you have to have the stamina for it, and it has to be directly behind them, which some enemies like the Black Knight kind of stand in like a diagonal stance, and so it's easier said than done. We're gonna back away real quick though. Now he's stuck up on the ledge. There we go. We're gonna bait him down to where it's a little more open so I can walk around behind him. Oh, I got greedy again. See, even if you get a normal hit on, it's not a lot of damage, but damage is damage. almost there. A couple more backstabs. It's even better when he blocks my stuff with his shield. Oh, if he kills me right here, I might be a little embarrassed. Come this far and fail. There we go. So we get our first Titanite chunk. That's an upgradable material for our weapons that we can use when we find Andre, who is, excuse me, is a swordsmith, a blacksmith that we can go to. He's actually going to come up shortly after we find this, fight this boss and then find the next bonfire. He's not too long after that. Alright, we're going to do some Indiana Jones again, because there's actually a guy behind this barrel. He sets it on fire and tosses it at you. So you want to be very careful that you don't become one with the barrel. Alright. We shall see how we do. I am down to 4 Estus, which could be enough if I don't get too careless with this one. So this first boss, aside from the tutorial boss, I'm just checking my notes real quick for something, is the Taurus demon. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, sorry, FromSoft. He's actually on top of that tower right there. And once you go halfway across the bridge, he's going to get hostile and he's going to come after you. The reason I'm climbing this ladder first is because there's these 2 guys that we want to take care of first. We only have time for the boss. We don't want to fight 2 snipers at the same time. So we're actually going to bait him to come towards us, and we're going to climb back up that ladder and get a head stab before we start the real fight. Once you get about halfway across, he's going to notice us, and he's going to come after us. So my tip is to turn around immediately and climb right back up the ladder. He will jump up here if you wait too long. Not like the Asylum Demon, where the Asylum Demon broke our ledge. He's going to jump up there and fight with us up there, which, depending on who you ask, might be a better way to do it. Oh dear, might have our first death here. I'm trying to, while we're fighting, I'm trying to unequip some stuff so that we can roll quicker. It's not working. We're going to try to just roll through his sweeps again, which I did not succeed in doing right there. See if we can get him to do an attack. There we go. When you want to heal, it's good to try to get him to do an attack that you can back up for, so that you have time to do it. Ooh. It's also noteworthy, it's possible to actually bait him to jump off of the castle. I don't think I've done it before, but I've heard that it's possible. We are all up in his grill right now. Couldn't even see what was going on. We're going to use our last Estus. We're going to try to be smart here. Ooh. And there we go. Almost ran out of Estus there. But then we got humanity and our first homeward bone. Now, our homeward bone serves as kind of a retreat. We returned to the last bonfire that we rested at. We also unlike the dark sign down here, this is why I don't use this dark sign. We actually lose our humanity and our souls that we have in order to go back. If we use our homeward bone, we keep everything. So it's very useful when you have started a fight that you don't feel confident that you can complete without dying. If you're in an area and you're low on Estus, you don't feel like running all the way back. Or if he would have killed me and I didn't feel ready to fight him in general, I could always come into the arena, grab my souls, teleport out, and then come back later. But at this point in the game, we don't have a lot of souls. So I wasn't super worried about having to use it. That door's locked. We need to get a key for that. And then this is going to be the bridge where the dragon's going to attack us. It sucks. We'll get to that in just a minute, because we want to come and speak to our friend right here first.
Hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Surveyor of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Wind, to seek my very own son. Do you find that strange? Well, it should. None of that is a reaction. I get that all the time.
So we're going to wait and we're going to keep talking to him.
Aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition. You have a moment.
Yes, we do.
The way I see it, our faces look to be intertwined. In a land brimming with horrors, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey?
We're going to do so.
It pleases you greatly. Well then, exist. We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phases in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations chill and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But you see, to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by a brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
So once he gives us that, we can finish the dialogue there and then walk away. What he just gave us is this white sign soapstone. We can leave a summon sign, and it's a little text that pops up on the ground, and I can leave one so that if another player wanted help and I was playing online, they could actually summon me and I can help them fight the battle. The reason why we want to come talk to him is he actually also gives us the opportunity to summon himself for certain battles. Usually the ones that the game puts in place, especially in this Dark Souls, will be before boss arenas. In certain games, especially when we get to Dark Souls 2, you can summon people for specific areas to help you clear before you get to bosses. But I am not playing online, so we shouldn't have anyone come into our world that is another player. We might have some NPC or non-player characters that will come in and either help us or attack us, but none of them are real people. They're ones that the game put in place. Now, as we run across this, we're going to have this dragon come over. We need to get to that bonfire over there, but first, we are going to drop down here. Because I'm always too worried about not succeeding in making it over there. Because if you notice, we come down to this ladder, and we are back to this bonfire down in the Undead Burg. And we are actually going to rest at it, because now we don't need to come out of this door for anything. At least for a little while. So we're going to rest. And let's work on getting everything equal. The four things that I focus on, we're going to try to get all of them equal to one another. And you know what? Let's work on resistance for the first time in a playthrough that I've had. Now that I realize how much it actually increases certain things, I'm going to try to keep all of these equal. I know it's not for certain players and experts in this game. It's not the best way to do it, but that's what I'm going to do. Because, once again, I'm not a master. But let's work with that, and let's actually use any souls that we have. We have 9 right here. We're going to use all of those and see if we can't get another level or 2. Two more. Something I didn't mention before. You're probably asking, Green Energy, why aren't you just holding up your shield? Why aren't you just holding it up when you're in fight? You could always defend yourself. You already know that when I get hit while using my shield, my stamina bar will go down. If I'm swinging and I'm engaged in a fight and I hold my shield up, watch how slow it goes up. If I'm not holding up my shield, it goes up much quicker. So those who may have been curious on why I wasn't just holding up my shield to protect myself, that is why I wasn't doing that. Now we have a bonfire just past that dragon that we want to try to go and get. But I wanted to make sure that if he ends up killing me with his fire, that we don't have a long walk. I think there's a better method to do this. My method is just to go for it, and if he hits me and I fall over, keep trying to go for it once I get back up. Alright, there is our first death, because I did not make it. He gave us our second one pretty quick. Well, there's our first death. I'm not totally upset by that one. If it happens over and over again, I might get a little more antsy about it. But we'll see if we can possibly trick him into thinking that we've gone around. Because you can go around him underneath, because we are under the bridge that he's on. But doing so, you can't utilize the bonfire that's over there, and that's kind of what we want. See if we can bait him. Come on. Because I don't like being that close to the edge. Knock him down. Over here we have our first group of rats. We had one rat earlier, but he didn't pose much of a fight. If they poison us, we're going to be in for a rough ride, so we want to try not to allow that to happen. Almost took a dive I didn't want to take. I believe there's one more hiding in here. Yep. I'll climb up this ladder. I do have a sneeze coming, so if I sneeze, I apologize. There's the bonfire right there that we need. And we can't open the door from this side. Nor did the dragon move. So we might just have to go for it again. But that is the kind of green bonfire glow that appears when we drop our souls. Let's see if we can. I blocked some of it. Let's at least pick up our souls before he kills us. I don't think I picked them up. That's okay. We have time to give it one more shot. Because now that I know that I can't go underneath and around in order to bait him away, we do kind of need to just be gutsy and go for it. But I did pick up my souls before I died, so they are going to be right there again. Oh, that took more health than usual. Well, I might have just lost him. Nope. Let's get back down here. Let's see. I have my crossbow, right? Yes. Let's see if maybe I can shoot him to the point where he'll fly away. Don't remember how to, though. How to aim, that is. This is a little embarrassing. Alright, we're just gonna have to go for it. A little better than that, though. Ooh, you got me in one hit that time. Alright, I might start the next video from that bonfire. We'll see how I'm feeling. But thank you for joining me today, where we kick off again. I will either be starting here or I'll be starting at that bonfire past the dragon. I'm just going to run past him a bunch of times and hope that I can get there. But thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Please leave a comment. Let me know anything you enjoyed. And if you want to see more content, please subscribe. Thank you. Spread positive vibes and be nice people.